Pierre Poilievre is probably arguably one of the biggest fraudsters in Canadian politics. Why? With the country in dire straits, this massive housing affordability issue we're having via laundered money from China, this massive problem we're having with immigration, this massive problem we're having with the destruction of the middle class that's been going on, pretty much started in 2010. This wiping out of the way of Canada, the Canadian way, the Canadian dream, is being single-handedly destroyed. Now, everyone's putting their faith in this guy, Pierre Poilievre, or Poilievre, or whatever his name is. Be thinking he's going to be the next guy to come, because he says the right things on the floor. He's telling you what you need to hear. But he's not telling you what you need to hear to fix the country. His campaign, or his platform, is carbon tax. It's carbon tax. He's battling carbon tax for Canadians. What? That's our problem, is carbon tax? Carbon tax is a tick of a box and it's gone. That's all it takes. You don't have to platform. So, let's take a look. Why is Pierre Poilievre so against the carbon tax? Again, he's against the carbon tax because he can't go against anything else. Now, carbon tax, I've read my gas bill. Let's read our natural gas bill, carbon tax wars. As cities and countries go broke 5 years, 8 months ago, we were already telling you this. Already telling you about all the hidden charges. So, the reason why I'm bringing this up, look at this one. $464 for this bill. When was this? This was on... It doesn't want to give me a date. March 26, 2019. I was already warning you guys. What does it say here? $464.45 for 1 month of gas to heat my house. Right? Hidden taxes, wake up Canada. This will go countrywide. So I was already trying to warn people about this years ago, before all these influencers came out after COVID. So carbon tax, there it is right there. $50. $50 of already a $464 bill. So we're already getting raked over the coals here, right? The reason why I'm bringing up, well, he's going to save you $50. They're going to incorporate that tax into, watch this. They could move it into clean energy levy. They could move it in municipal operating fees. They could move it in storage and transport. They could move the tax into anything else. And this is what people are not seeing. He's fighting hard for carbon tax and fighting hard for Canadians to save me a measly $50 on my bill per month to basically heat my home. In the winter, it's obviously more. Now, what should he be talking about? What we've been asking him all these years. So years ago, we told you guys. Years ago, we told you. We asked him a question. Pierre Poilievre can't save you. Too much laundered money, massive public sector WEF member. Pierre Poilievre cannot save Canada. Wake up. They are all part of the same club, the same team. Justin Trudeau versus Pierre Poilievre, forced into homelessness via government accountability. Heel versus face. 100% tariffs on Chinese EVs, says Poilievre. Or Poilievre, or whatever his name. Heel versus face. It's all a lie. Justin Trudeau versus Pierre Poilievre. Donald Trump versus Joe Biden. It's all heel versus face, guys. All heel versus face. Now, in the last election we had here in the province, a provincial election, money laundering in BC, a non-issue for all parties during the election campaign. I did a freak out video, which I'll leave at the end of this video so you guys can see. It's 21 plus, age 21 and older, please. So the main reason why we can't afford our housing, we can't investigate money laundering. Right? And you want more proof? Lots of proof. Canada would be in a recession without money laundering. So this problem started in 2010 in Canada. Money laundering became a massive issue when Canadians were going to see a housing correction after the 2010 Olympics. Everyone was selling their properties because the property was going to crash. It was just already 9 to 13 times the annual income. Federal government in 2010 got smart. Let's start bringing in foreign money and sell out and let's bring in some capital flows from China. So that's what they did through the Vancouver model in 2010. So this carbon tax thing here, which I've been showing you guys, is only a tick of a box. That's all Pierre needs to do, is just tick a box off, and the carbon tax is gone. There's no secrets, but what they'll do is when they remove it, they're going to incorporate it into your bill through other taxation, right? So laundered money. So from China, so we have from March 2010 till about, I think it was April 2024, they're estimating 811 billion. Yep. $811 billion just from China alone. So they basically turned our cities into empty shells, created artificial shortages, and we told you guys about this. But it's not only that. It's not just the real estate. Our mines, our telecom companies, they own a percentage through shareholdings. Our ports, even reported police stations in Canada. So to protect, I guess, their assets, right? Because the policing in Canada doesn't really do much for Canadian people. It's more for protecting foreign assets, right? And I asked Pierre, and in that video I made almost 4 years ago, I asked Pierre about the public sector. We're being taxed to death because we have to maintain a public sector. I'm thinking now Canada's over 50% public sector. That's basically is funding the immigrants that came in, that are getting these 6-figure government jobs. Sorry guys, I can't read or spell, but this is what's happening, folks. They got all these people working in banking sectors, government, all kinds, airports, all over the place, working for the government, getting these 6-figure government jobs through taxing us private citizens to death. Can't afford our housing because of incredible amounts of money laundering from mainland China, creating artificial shortages, turning our cities into empty shells. I have about 1,400 videos dedicated to Chinese money laundering. They destroyed Ireland, Scotland, Edinburgh, go look it up. They destroyed Australia, New Zealand, and the blue states of America. America now is waking up. There are radio ads on the radio, like over, if you're down in the States, you'll be hearing, yeah, the Chinese money laundering needs to be cleaned up. We need to just take their properties back and just put it back and give it back to the citizens, right? We talked about this when Vancouver put a foreign buyer's tax on in 2016 for foreign investors. You will have to pay a foreign buyer's tax. What happened? We told you guys 7 years ago, Chinese to take over Seattle housing market. Amerifornia is coming. A Vancouver foreign buyer's tax. We did this 7 years ago, and we warned you guys about how the Chinese are going to be basically taking over now that Vancouver put the foreign buyer's tax. And you want the headline from British Columbia. Foreign buyers overlooking Vancouver and heading to Seattle in frenetic pace. So they're basically destroyed the Seattle housing market. United States, average home went from a benchmark 198,000 back then to like 850,000 pretty much overnight. And where did the other Chinese investors go? Toronto. Rip Toronto apart overnight. They were buying entire condo towers and leaving them empty and creating artificial shortages. And now, what's happened? Well, the Canadian government now has sprinkling in Indians. They're sprinkling in Indians to come in. Why? I think the government wants to protect Chinese Communist Party interests. That's why Justin Trudeau went down to Mar-a-Lago to talk to Trump about fentanyl, because it's the Chinese. The Chinese own the fentanyl trade, right? They have factories in Mexico, and they have a lab that was busted in Canada. Unfortunately, that wasn't a fentanyl lab. They want you to believe it is, but it's all coming in from China. Anyways, guys, and the profits are being put into Canadian real estate. And we were telling you guys here, Chinese gangs laundering fentanyl money money in real estate via banks, destroying Western society. We're already warning you about this multiple times. Look, 1.34 million empty homes across Canada. Justin Trudeau said it was the 200,000 Airbnbs, not the money launderers. The money launderers are helping your house become worth more money, so you can't afford to eat. And we keep going on and on and on. Look, Chinese, money laundering, CCP, destroying housing affordability via fentanyl. Runoff on Chinese CCP money laundering. Seattle invaded by investors. Portland now unaffordable. Toronto needs more money laundering. Vancouver model. Home prices slip. So Toronto was starting to slip. Things were starting to go wrong where Toronto needed more money laundering. So they set that up 7 years ago to get more money there. Chinese money laundering destroying Australia. It's all ripoff. Look at this. We were already doing these $1.6 million for a teardown. We were already making videos like this many, many years ago, before all of these social media influencers are coming to tell you this today. Wow. And for people that are going to go in the comment section and says, it's your governments, it's not the Chinese. Our governments are China. You don't get it. You don't have to look like a Chinaman to be a Chinaman. Okay? You don't have to. They are China. For a government of a country that's supposed to be looking out for its people and making sure the highways are maintained and the police are doing their job and make sure that the garbage is taken out, sell out to China and launder their money through here and destroy us. Our governments are China. Right? Anyways. And when you're going to send me a link to the Canada Statistics Immigration, don't bother. And don't bother sending me that because they don't count investors as immigrants coming into Canada for many years now. And that's why everything in Canada is completely warped. And Pierre Poilievre, if you want to fix Canada, actually go after the major issues that we asked you almost 4 years ago in a video when you claimed you're going to come and save this country. Why aren't you tackling these issues? Leave the carbon tax alone. I would gladly pay the $50 a month in carbon tax for housing to become within wages, for housing to be private sector wages, not six-figure government jobs. Private sector wages. Real estate tied to private sector wages. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Mike Martin's here. Watch this video right now. I got a video down here for you guys to watch. 21 plus, please. 21 plus. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.